you asked that I do a video for Job 7. So, things you need to make sure that you have, and I opened the link up from last week so you can get back to this information. So, I actually posted some instructions, some additional instructions for Job 7. So you need to print those out. The other thing is you need your student's manual. So you can read the instructions for Job 7. So now you have 2 sets of instructions for Job 7. You also need the Job 7 blank report sheet. Okay. And then you need all the cards that you need for Job 7. And those are on page 41. So we need 16 records, number 31 through 45. Okay. And 16 so we need all those. We need 3 cross-reference sheets and 8 blank cards with a paper file. Okay. And then it also shows you a diagram on page 41. When you do the ticker file, how it's going to be set up so you have the month of March, and you have dates like 1 through 5, 6 through 10, so forth, and then the last one is April. Okay, so we're going to go through this. So these are the things that you need to have before you even get started. Okay, so make sure you have those. So I hope you can see that, especially when you make it full screen. Okay, so now that you have all these pieces, we're going to look at the very first record, which is card 31. So card 31, which was right, yeah. So card 31 is going to go under numbers. So if you look on your report sheet, the blank report sheet, you should have a file called numbers. Okay. So this one is going to be, the 2 unit is going to be 205. So card 31 will go under numbers as 205. Card 31. And we can put that in parentheses so you know which number card 31 falls under. Okay? So it's card 31. Card 32 so we have to look at our instructions sometimes to figure out what we're supposed to do with things. So in your student manual, it may not give you any instructions for 31 or 32. but if you look on the instructions that I gave you, there will be, okay? So, card 32, it says this piece has a formula release mark. A cross-reference is needed for the hyphenated game, okay? So, let's look at card 32. This is card 32, okay? And the person that wrote this letter is Beverly Charleston Eggers. Okay. So, because it's a hyphenated name, we have to drop the hyphen and push it together. So, the last name is the key unit. Okay? So, we know that this is going to be followed under the C's. Okay? And because it is a hyphenated name, now we need to do the married name. Okay, so we're going to do a cross-reference 32X. Okay, and the cross-reference sheet that you have that comes with the cards, the name on the subject is going to be Eggers. And you go right to left. Okay, Eggers, Beverly Charleston. So this is going to be followed under the E's. Okay, so it's 32 and 32X. Okay. Card 33 tells us this piece has a form letter release mark. When you file this piece, they will note the similarity of this name, Chaz S. Baker, MD, and the name on piece number 3, Mr. Chaz S. Baker. We need to apply Rule 5 to properly file this piece. Okay? So, what this means is that card 3 and card 33 both have the same name. This is card 33, okay, and Chaz S. Baker, MD, okay, so this is your key unit, 2, 3, 4, okay, so this can be filed under the D's, okay. So then we have card 3, and if you go back and look at card 3, his was Chaz Baker S. Lister. This is card 3. So both of these are going to go under the D's, and because everything is the same all the way until you get here. So you have to see which one comes first, MD or MR. So under the B's, you're going to have 33 and 3. Okay? So that's card 33. Okay. 34, key unit is all state cable ink. Key unit is all state. I'm not going to finish writing it, and this is card 34. Okay. So anytime that you have all state, you have to do a cross reference for the whole word. Okay. So it would be all one word. Okay. 34 and 34X. Okay. Now we're going to go through a few more so that we can get to the tipper file, which is number 35. So this is card 35. And this is So, if you look again on the report sheet on the numbers, card 35, because you already have card 31. So, on the numbers, the first one was card 31, 205 is the number on the record. This is card 35, 7. So you can see this number comes before this one. So that would be the numbers. And this should be the only two records you have for numbers. Okay, so that's the first thing you do with card 35. There's two more things we need to do. So, 35 and our instructions tell us, let's see what they tell us. Pat Johnson has released this letter for filing, so if there's no release mark, no initials, or you've seen some with FL-A or so forth, if there's no release mark, then you have to put a release mark. And remember, a release mark in MindTap is the capital D. Okay, so a cross-reference needs to be prepared for the parent company name, Imagine Films, Inc., and then a ticker card file needs to be prepared. So these are the instructions that I gave. So we've got 35 going on the numbers, so that's the first thing. The second thing is we need to do a cross-reference for 35X, okay? And that's for the parent company. So Imagine Films, that's our cross-reference. So that's going to go in the numbers, this is going to go in the letter I. Then also on that record, it tells us there's a ticker file here, okay? It says, remind me to check in the brochure on 4 or 5, okay? So, on the ticker file cards, under April, this is your ticker file. Behind April, you have the date that tells us on here to check on the brochure on 4/5. So that's the date that we choose. That's the reminder date. Okay. So under April it's going to be card 35, and it's got the date 4/5. Okay. So that's card 35. Okay. Okay, so when you erase this, you can back this up and play it as many times as you need to. Card 36. The instructions say, see it manual, does it have anything? Okay. So card 36, if you look at the record, there is no release mark, there are no initials on here. So we know 36 needs to be a V as a release mark in MindTap, okay? And because this is a foreign language, it tells us what the English translation is in our book. So when you have a foreign name, you have to first translate it to English. So the International Computing Center So this is going to go under the eyes. Okay? That's all you need to do with 36. There's no release mark, so you need to make one. And because it's a foreign name, you have to translate it to English, and that's what we code. Okay? page 37. Sometimes you have to read the documents to see, sometimes you need instructions. And our student manual says there's no written note with this sticker file notation. Read the letter to determine what the reminder should be, then prepare a sticker card. Okay, so there is a release mark TW, and it says, let me know as soon as possible so that the arrangements for the meeting can be made. So that's 3:30. So that's our ticker file right there. Okay, and so this is card 37. Audio, roll down, association. I'm just going to abbreviate for just this purpose. Okay. So Chicago is your key unit. Our ticker file is card 37. Card 37, and the date is 3:30. Okay. So on your ticker file card, you've got dates, and 26 through 31 is going to go. That's where it's going to go. 26 through 31. Card 37 is going to go with that date. Now, in my tab, you're going to have to put the card number. But if you put it this way, you know which one comes first if you don't know. Okay? Series 38 has a ticker file of 328. Card 39 has a ticker file of 312. And there's the key unit is Chicago on that. Card 40 Chicago is the key unit. And let's see what our instructions say about card 40. It has a release mark. So all we need to do is code Chicago as the key unit for card 40. Card 41, Airways Extraordinary. Airways being the key unit. There is a release mark PJ, and there's also a ticker file of 310. Okay, so card 41 is going to go through March 6th through the 10th. Card 42, Episcopal Preparatory School. Episcopal is your key unit. There's a ticker file for the 7th, and there's a release mark. Invoices, card 43, is really easy. You should have on your report sheet a folder for invoices. Okay. So all you need to look at is the 2. Who is this 2? So card 43 is 205 payment systems. 205 is the key unit. Okay. So card 43 and then here the number is 205. Okay. So you're going to have 5 records under invoices. Card 23 is going to be like the third one. Okay. Card 44, police is your key unit. You have a ticker file of 427. Card 45, Davis is your key unit and has a release mark. Okay. So that's pretty much it. I finished all the cards. Card 45 is Davis. Okay, Okay, so now there's one more thing you have to do. Also notice there is a folder now that we named Chicago. So this is a folder. Okay. So if you go back and look at your cards, anything that has Chicago as the key unit, you now look at unit 2 as the key unit. So for example, card 37. Card 37 has Chicago, okay, so Chicago was the key unit. Now we're going to make this the key unit, right? So card 37, we're cutting this out because we have this now. I'm sorry, association. Okay, so that's card 37. Another one we had was card 39. Card 39 was Chicago, video, broadband communications department. So this was the key unit. So now this is the key unit. Okay. So now we got to do 39. City of broadband communications department. And I write it out so that if I need to put it in alphabetical order, if it has the same name somewhere, then I can go to the next pieces. Okay? So that's 2 of the cards that's going to go under Chicago. You also have a card, 2 cards from jobs 5, 6, and 7. So card 8, card 23, 19, and card 19 should have a release mark. Card 14, card 24X. And then there's some cards between 31 and 45 that we can see, and we can see 2 of those. So there's a few more. There's 2 more from job 7 that go in here. So altogether, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 records under the Chicago folder. So we drop the Chicago key unit and we look at the second one. Because we have so many records for Chicago, that's why we did that. Okay? So I hope this will get you a really good start. If you run into any questions, let me know. I do have this open until March 5th. Okay?